Yes, students, today I am going to teach you a very important topic of English grammar, that is auxiliary verb. What are auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs are the helping verbs used in sentences along with the verbs to set the mood, tense, or tone, etc. of a sentence. What are helping verbs? Helping verbs are the verbs that help the main verb to make its meaning clear. It helps us to tell us what is the tone or the mood or the time of the action is of a subject. Examples: the world might head towards a water crisis. Head means move, and water crisis is the critical condition or the issues related to water that we are being confronted. Next sentence is the world will head towards a water crisis. You will see that both sentences are same except might and will. Both of these sentences are talking about the same world. You will see the water crisis is also the same and the main verb head is also the same. But what is the difference? What brings the change in the meaning? They are the words might and will. These are called auxiliary verbs, and the main verbs are here head. In second sentence also head. Might and will. How these two words bring the difference in the sentences in terms of meanings. However, the former indicates, former here means in sentence 1, it indicates a weak possibility, means less possibility, whereas the latter almost declares it. The might word, it describes that there is less possibility of heading of the world towards a water crisis. But in second sentence, you will see that the speaker is sure of that the world will head towards the water crisis. He very surely, he declares it that it's going to take place. So in this way, the might and will helping the main verb to make its meaning more clear. Interestingly, this happens just because of a change in one word known as modal verbs. So these two words are called modal verbs. Auxiliaries are divided into two parts: primary auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Primary auxiliaries are be, have, and do. Further, these three words have different forms of their forms. They are called primary auxiliaries. They are known as primary because they are the most frequently occurring auxiliaries and are used in their different forms in the English language. You can see these three words along with their forms, they are used most often in our language, in our day-to-day conversation. That's why they are called primary auxiliaries. Primary means very important helping verbs. Be, have, and do. These are very important helping verbs. Without these words and their forms, we are not able to determine the meaning of a sentence. Now, we will have the different forms of these three words. Be has three forms: present tense, past tense, and past participle. Present tense further we have is, am, are. In present tense we use is, am, are. In past tense we use was and were, and in past participle we learn been. Actually, what is the past participle? Past participle is a word that is always used with perfect tense to make a perfect tense or used in passive voice. So this is a difference between past tense and past participle. If I take example of present tense, is, am, are, you can take any one of these. He is a handsome boy. Wasn't were, you can use it with continuous tense. He was writing a letter. You can use past participle using the passive form. He has been selected. So this is the passive form. Similarly, have, it is also having three forms: present, past, and past participle. In present tense, we use has and have. In past tense, had, and past participle had. I have two pen. She had completed her work. In this way, we can use these forms. Do, present tense, do, past tense, did, and past participle is done. Done is the third form, which is always used with perfect tense. That's why we say the past participle. Or in passive voice. These do, did, these are the words that usually used to make negative sentences or interrogative sentences. Do you like it? This is a question or interrogative sentence. In this way, we can use it. Yes, modal auxiliaries. What are modal verbs? Modal verbs are a kind of auxiliary verb, helping verb. They facilitate the main verb for suggesting potential, expectation, permission, ability, possibility, and obligation. Yes, how to use modal verbs? What do they represent? How do they facilitate the main verbs? Facilitate means help the main verbs. That denotes either some suggestion, or potential means ability or capacity. Expectations means what do you expect or hope. Permission, to seek or get permission or to give permission. Ability, possibility, and obligation, it may be a duty. We have examples like he can speak English fluently. Here can is a modal verb and speak is a main verb. If we say he speak English fluently, we are not using s or es, because it, if without can, it is simple indefinite present indefinite tense. So it will be wrong. Grammatically, it will be wrong. He can speak English fluently. Here we are using can as a modal verb, which is helping the main verb speak. In this way, the meaning is more clear that he has the ability to speak English fluently. Similarly, in the next sentence, it may rain today. May tells us that there is possibility of rain to come. That's why we can say the may is a modal verb and rain is a main verb. And may is helping the main verb to determine its meaning. Yes, there are some tips that you need to be keep in your mind while using your modals. Do not use model for things which happen definitely. Means there are some certain truths or universal truths, or some like the sun rises in the east. This is a universal truth. You can't use model in such sentences, because these sentences are always written in present indefinite tense. They have no s or s in the third person singular, just as in simple present indefinite tense you use s or es with the third singular person. But with modals, you have to avoid s or es. Just as in example, he can play football. Can is always followed by first form of the verb. Questions are formed without do, does, or did. Just as if in a tense, if you in a present tense or in past tense, if you want to make an interrogative sentence, you need do, does, or did to make a question. But when you are using these modal verbs, then you need not to take help of do, does, or did. Simply you can say, can he speak Spanish? Simple. It follows a main verb in its infinitive. Infinitive here stands for first form of the verb. Means the main verb will be written in the first form only after using modal verb. Modal verb is always followed by first form of the verb. Just as an example, they must read the book. There are no past forms except could and would, just as can, could, will, would, may, or might. He was allowed to watch the film. When you use the past participle, you tell about things which did not happen in the past. Just as I have already told you, this past participle is used with perfect tenses only, or when you make passive sentences. Sometimes it is used as an adjective also. Um, weird it to you. Sometimes you wanted to do something in the past, but you did not do that. And the same thing now you are telling to someone else. So how you will say this? You should have told me. Means तुम्हें मुझे पहले बता देना चाहिए था. It means पहले ये action नहीं हुआ. Now this is, now you are telling about this to the person. What is the difference between can and could? Can is used to tell the general ability of a person, just like I can speak English. I can means I am able to speak English. In other words, if I would like to say here. And similarly, could is the past tense of can, and this is also used to tell about the ability of a person, but in the past, not in present. I could play the piano when I was younger. I was younger. This part of the sentence denotes that this is, we are talking about the past. And at that time in the past, he was able to play the piano, but now it's not so. Ask for permission, informal. Can I borrow your pen, please? If you are in the company of your friend and you are asking for some permission to share his thing or belongings, and then you can simply say, can I borrow your pen, please? But if you are asking for the permission to your principal or your teachers or your elders, then you need to be very polite. So how you can say that, could I use your bathroom, please? So this term, this form is very, very formal. To request something, can is also used if you want to request somebody. Can you help me, please? This is a request, but this request is polite. But if you want to be more formal, more polite, then at the same time you can use could. You pass me the salt, please. You can see there is the little difference. Can denotes to less polite and could is more polite than can. Possibility, if there is less possibility of something to take place, then you can use can. It can get very cold there at night. Possibility in the past, but if you are talking about some possibility in the past, then you will have to use a structure. Then what is this structure is? Means could plus have plus past participle. Past participle means third form of the verb. Whenever you have to use past participle, means third form of the verb. So what, you could have broken your leg? You can see broken is the third form. This is past participle. And have, as is mentioned in the structure, and could have broken. This is the possibility of the past action. Offer to help someone. Can I carry your bags for you? This is the help you offer to someone. Can I do it for you? But if you have a suggestions, but you are not asked for it, we could go to the movies if you like. Means you are depending on others' choice whether you want to go to movies or not. Cannot, can't, not allowed. When can is followed with not, it means not allowed. You are supposed not to do a certain act or action. You cannot smoke in this room. This is the prohibited action. You are not allowed to do smoking in this room. So we can say this word in the way, you cannot smoke in this room. Similarly, the next, you can't go to the party. Can't is the short form of cannot. Some people say can't and some people say can't. Both are acceptable because one is belong to the British and the other American accent. Conditional of can would be able to. If we had some oranges, I could make you some fresh juices. Conditional, what is a conditional clause? The conditional clause always have two terms, if terms and the resultant term. If clause we have, if we had some oranges, means अगर हमारे पास कुछ oranges होते, it means it was not there, oranges were not there, I could make you some fresh juice. So what is the condition? Ki if you had some oranges, only then I would be able to prepare juice, fresh juice for you. So this is the condition. What is the difference between may and might? I would like to make it clear. May is used when you have some facts on the basis of which you announce something that this is going to take place. And possibility is just imagination in your mind. You are just imagining the things to take place, whereas there is no ground of facts on which you are announcing it. Possibility is more in with male rather than might. I haven't decided yet where to go on holiday. I may go to Ireland. Means I think that there are many places in your mind that where to go, but you have not decided on to which place you want to go. So I'm using here may. Take an umbrella with you, it might rain later. So perhaps it will rain, means there is some possibility of rain to come, but it's not sure. Permission, next is permission. If you want to take permission, and permission is very polite. For example, you want to go on principal office, you say, may I come in, ma'am? May I sit next to you? If you are asking some student suggestions, we are going to a concert. Concert is a music performance in a public place or publicly. You might like to come with us. So, but you are offering a suggestion कि we are going to concert. If you want to accompany us, you are most welcome. So this is used for suggestion. May is used for wish. If you wish someone, if you want to give wishes to someone, then you can use may. May all your wishes come true. May is always used uh, to say some a kind of request. May I have some water, please? This is denoting a request. A conditional clauses. If they train a little harder, they might win the match. Means what is a condition? To train a little harder. And what will be the result of it? They might win the match. If I had studied more, I might have passed the exam. Why we are using might? Might in second sentence. Had is what? Had is imagination. If I had studied more. This denotes the past tense also. And past form, if clause is past, definitely the consequence clause will be followed by the past tense, that is might. What is difference between shall and should? How to use shall? Shall is used in simple future tense. I shall take part in CBSE tournament. This is very just about the planning of near future. Desire, if you are very desirous to do something, we shall accept your present. Promise, if you do a promise with someone at such condition, you can use this word. If I win the match, I shall give you a treat. I shall give you a treat. What is this? This is a promise that you're going to make to someone. Intention, when there is a very acute desire of doing something, I shall buy the blankets. This is determination that you have made up your mind to do something. Suggestions, if you are offering some suggestion to someone, I say you shall post this letter. Post this letter means you are giving suggestion to someone that he must or he should post the letter. Offer, shall we have some rest now? This is again offering help. Shall we do this? Shall we do this for you? Do we favor for you? Past form of shall. She said that I should not bother her. We Use should as the past form of shall. She said that I should not bother her. Duty, to tell about the duty, the student should follow school rules. It is the duty of students that they should follow the school as well as classroom rules. Obligation is again the moral duty. We should keep our words, we should respect others. Advice, a piece of advice when you want someone to do as per your opinion, she should serve her mother-in-law. You are advising someone that it is her duty to serve her mother-in-law. Suggestions, you should engage a tutor for your son. You are offering a suggestion to someone that you should manage a tutor for your son. Desire, should I speak to her? You are expressing your desire to do something. Should I speak to her? What is difference between will and would? Will is used in informal situation. Will you lend me your book? But if you want to be more polite and formal to someone, then to express your request, then you can use would. Would you study with me? Would you lend me your book? This is more polite than will. If you want to say no, or you want to use the negative form of will, then it is possible only in present or in future. I won't do your work. Refusal negative, she won't. How we will use would plus not, won't help me yesterday. This is the past form. Will is used in present and future tense, but would is only used in past tense only. Offer present future. I will watch your children today. You are offering a help to someone that I will take care of your children today. This is used in present and future, but if you offer your help in past tense, then you can say I would have helped you if you have told me. If you had told me means this is in past tense. Again you can see would plus present perfect. Would plus have is present perfect, and which is followed by past participle, that is helped. Conditional, first conditional and second conditional. First conditional is if he asks me, I will help him. You can see that if clause is followed by first form, which is again followed by future tense. But if we talk about would, you can see if I had is what? Is past tense. I would buy a car. If I study, I would have passed. So this is the difference. Future, we will visit Spain next month. You have some planning in near future. That's why you are saying we will visit Spain next month. Future, in the past, he said that he would help us move next week. He said is, this is the reported verb, and reported verb is in past. If reported verb is in past, then the preceding line, the reported speech, will always be in past tense. So it will be he would. Would is a past tense of will. What is difference between must and have to? Express personal obligation, to express what the speaker thinks is necessary. Express subjective obligation. Subjective means the subject of a sentence. If he thinks that it is necessary to do, or if he thinks that it is his obligation, it is his personal duty to do this, means if his internal conscience is asking him to do this, we use must. But if you have a compulsion from outside source, maybe it's your teacher, maybe your parents, then it is called external force. They have pressurized you, they have compelled you to do something, and this shows that in such situations we have to use have to. In very simple words, I would like to say that must is used to tell what you think is compulsory. You yourself think is compulsory. Means there is force, but that is internal force. Whereas have to tells us that you are going to do something because somebody has forced you to do it. So there is external force that is compelling you to do it. That's why we use have to. You must work hard. You think that you must work hard. This is your duty. This is your obligation. All passengers must wear seat belts. Otherwise, the consequences, you know, what he or she may face. And I have to leave early today. I have to leave early today. Why? Because otherwise I will reach late at my home. My parents are going to beat me very hard, so you will have to pay for the excess. What is this? These two sentences are forced by some sources that is called external. Next is ought to. Ought to is somewhat somehow similar to should. Duty or obligation. You ought to be careful choosing your friends. Ought to, you can also use should in place of ought to, because should is also used for duty or obligation. You ought to be, but one thing remember, should never takes to. Ought is always followed by to. You ought to be careful choosing your friends. Possibility, just as in should, similarly in ought to, there is also possibility. They ought to be at their summer camp by now. By now you are expecting that he should be at their summer camp by now. Ought sometimes be used perfect infinitive with ought to. Perfect means when you use has or have plus third form, that is called perfect infinitive, or sometimes you use it in the past tense. He ought to have visited his dentist regularly. Means you are advising that he should visit his dentist regularly in the past. This sentence is not of present but of past. How to use dare and need? What are the rules to deal with these two? These are used as both main verb as well as modal. Dare expresses challenges or courage. How dare you touch my files? Need express requirement. He needs me. She does not dare to go there. You need not come tomorrow. You can see that here need is not followed by to. You can use these two words in positive sentences. I need help him. This is wrong. I need to help him. This is right. Because when you are using it in a positive sentence, then you need to insert to after need. Need and dare generally used as modal in positive sentence with to plus first form of the verb, that is called infinitive. Just as you can say, he needs to work hard. I need to help him. These two are positive sentences. But when you are talking about the negative sentences, then you need not to insert to. Just as in example, he need not come tomorrow. What is this? This is a negative sentence. So we are not adding to. He dare not cheat anyone again. So what do you think? I have used to? No, there is no to. He dare not cheat anyone again. If you write he dared not to cheat, this is wrong. Grammatically, it will be wrong. And then you may lose your